Okay, so that part of it actually does make some sense to me, that he didn't want to sort of take the attention away from championship weekend. Dan, what should we read into all of that?
I think it's a situation where he wants to do it on his own terms and his own timetable. We have no reason to doubt Adam and Jeff's reporting on this. I think it's a matter of time, and maybe it is a matter of he didn't want to distract from the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and it'll come after that. But at some point, I do expect that announcement to happen.
I've not had a chance to talk to the big Swagoo since all of this weekend. Marcus, reaction, Tom Brady.
Listen, man, the retirement coming down at some point, and you just think of a guy that willed himself to greatness. Like, you think about all of the traits athletically, especially in the NFL today, what we talk about with dual threat quarterbacks, their ability to do more on the field, these rocket arms we see from the Josh Allens or the Patrick Mahomes of the world. And Tom Brady evolved year in and year out. This dude was playing against dudes that were literally newborns when he started playing in the NFL. He was able to cross generations. He was able to continue to evolve, and he clearly understood, based on his last tenure in Tampa, what he needed to win games. I'll tell you this, and this is something that came to my mind. Tom Brady may be in the GM conversation. Because if you think about how teams have been built around him and understanding what the need is for a quarterback, he understood that as well as anybody. But his legacy will always be an overcomer. The guy that was not 6'5", the pretty dude that get off the bus. He willed himself into being the greatest of all time. That's tough to do, man, in this league with all of the greats that's played this game.
Respectfully, he was a different kind of pretty, but I understand what you're talking about. Not necessarily the first one you send off the bus. And Dominic, you were making a point this morning that as we try and put this man into historical perspective, it's not his immediate peers that we consider, right? Those are not his rivals.
I mean, I think Jordan comes to mind as one of the people that you would compare him to, but one of the differences between he and Jordan is when Jordan went to Washington, it wasn't the same. Brady went down to Tampa.
Right.
It would be similar to Jordan averaging 30 a game, being an MVP candidate and winning a title in D.C., which I'm sure they would have loved, but was far from what happened here. So the way that Brady's playing right now, MVP caliber player, and also walking out a year after a Super Bowl, a season where they made it into the second round of the playoffs, and also Tom Brady, I think, is if he's not going to get the MVP, he's going to be second for it. So it's really incredible. And also, Graziano, you got to add overcomer to the Swagoo dictionary.
Yep.
I think you got to add that one. You got it? All right.
Yep, we got it. We're going to log it.
We're keeping notes on all of that. If he does win the MVP, which I don't think he's going to, but he very well might. I think he's going to finish second to Rodgers. But either way, if he does, the only quarterback ever to win MVP in his final season was Norm Van Brocklin, who played half a century ago. So it would be something unique. And speaking of things that
That's
are
what we
unique,
got to compare
you went
him to.
against Brady's team.
Brady was playing then.
In legendary games.
Yeah.
And yet, your perspective on him fascinates me.
Yeah, listen, I mean, the fiercest of competition, right? Like, we went at it. He knocked me out of the playoffs. He did all those things. And then fast forward a few years, and I've now become a fan of Tom Brady, which is insane. I mean, I still have family members and friends who go, dude, you can't cheer for him. I'm like, how could you not cheer for him? I mean, he is just a different, and I think to Swagoo's first point, he earned every bit of this. Like, this is a 6th-round pick who took this thing over. You know, his team wins 3 or 4 championships early, and then he has another 2 Hall of Fame careers, one in the middle, one at the end. It's just insane what he was capable of doing. And I think in the fashion he won it, the humility, the grace, the full team, quote, team guy that he really has become, it's just insane, man. I mean, there's not enough adjectives to speak about what he's done in the NFL. I'm just, I'm in awe of the guy. It was an incredible run and something special we won't see again.
What he leaves behind in Tampa is a championship caliber team, which to me, Dan, the really fascinating, among the many fascinating questions that come from this, what do? They drafted Kyle Trask last year, but if you're going to hand him the ball, then you obviously have a very different plan. Are they a team that we should expect to be in the market for the big-name quarterbacks out there?
I would. I think they'll look at that veteran quarterback market first. Now, there's 2 very different ways they could go. They could try and run it back with this team and replace Brady at quarterback and see if it stays what it is. That would involve holding it together year in a way that Brady did, right? I mean, Leonard Fournette's a free agent. Chris Godwin's a free agent. Is it going to be as easy to get guys to sign there without him? The other way is to go rebuild, to go young, maybe see if Trask can do it, but that could involve a lot of departures on the roster, could involve changes on the coaching staff, right? Is Bruce Arians going to want to stick around for a rebuild? So Tampa has a lot to figure out. I think most likely they go that veteran quarterback route.
Okay, let's bookmark that. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.